down. Long time no see. Alright, so it's been like a year that this car, since this project began with Mark's vehicle, and we've decided to turbo it as of like 2 weeks ago. So we're gonna turbo this healthy ass KA. It's got like, I think like right under 180,000 miles on it. It was very well maintained. Our power goal for this engine is 300 horsepower. 300 horsepower is how much I'm going for my chassis, also my Sylvia on the SR. So this should be capable of it. If it doesn't hit 300 wheel on the dyno, I take it it's going to hit like 280 or something. The goal is to get it done in like 4 weekends, and that's just because of fabrication and stuff. But we already have a dyno tune day planned with our Empathy on the 19th of December. We should see the numbers for this thing. It's going to be on an S14 turbo. We have like a whole bunch of boxes inside Mark's room that were just like a list of parts that we ordered for it. I was initially going to pull out the engine, but I've decided that I'll just struggle. I'll be on the struggle bus and get it done in the car because, I don't know, I'm just sick of pulling engines. So step one on turboing your vehicle, we're going to remove all the shit that we don't need or that we got to dig deeper into. So in that case, it's removing all the stock airbox stuff. I need to pop off the intake manifold, exhaust manifold. I might remove the exhaust, I might just leave it dangling. So let's get started on removing airbox, draining coolant, start unplugging this whole intake manifold wire harness side.
I'ma stay right here.
Yeah! Y'all wheels. You have fresh pickups?
This is an ABS car, so I made Mark some hard lines when I deleted all that crap, and the gap here is really small, so his brakes are gonna overheat like crazy. That's something that I'll have to fix too. Like, we're obviously gonna make a heat shield there and whatnot, but I'm most likely gonna do some more work to these brake lines to bring them a lot closer here. I gotta cut off the external wastegate flange that I welded on for Yep's car a couple years ago because we're doing an internal wastegate setup on this car. Yep, pretty cool though, a little piece of the puzzle. So the day's come to an end, and we've got the manifolds off, intake and exhaust manifolds. Tomorrow I'll run through the whole intake manifold setup and delete all the shit that I don't need off it, and then just kind of refresh it with some new coolant hoses and stuff, and I'll toss that right back on. And it'd be nice to complete the turbo setup, the plumbing for that. So coolant lines from the intake manifold, and then oil feed and oil return into the oil pan, And if I complete that tomorrow, I'd be pretty satisfied, because then that means next weekend I got time to do a day to do the intercooler setup, and then another day for exhaust and intake. I hope you guys are as excited as we are for this, because that's like the only thing that was left on this car was a power plant, and I mean the prices of SRs have went through the roof, and I don't know what we'd do with this KA, because it's such a healthy KA. I mean, to me this is the healthiest KA I've seen in my whole couple years of, I don't know, being in the drift scene or whatever, For 180k, the head's super clean. It's just a high mileage, super clean machine. I mean, the amount of times that this thing's been on limiter from when Yev owned it, and then any drift event you take it to nowadays, it's like just nothing. This is the definition of an engine that you hop in the car and you go, do an oil change on it and you're happy. So I'm pretty excited to see how KA holds up to turbo. This is something that Yev tried to complete years ago, but we had technical difficulties with the rebuild and stuff, so that ended up being swapped out for a JZ. And that will not be the case for this car this time around. So all the parts are running. To refresh the intake manifold, this is going to be the intake, but this is the wrong size. It's supposed to be like 5 feet. Waterline hose, I'm thermal wrapping for the water lines and the oil feed. Turbo elbow to work off of. Wellbro 255 fuel pump, an assortment of fittings for our water lines and our oil return, and then just couplers and a couple exhaust little pieces. What turbo did Mark go with? Mark went with a fresh S14 turbo. Good choice. Alright. We got some extra gasket stuff. OEM stuff, that's the ones that we're going to use. Good comfortable size. Damn, that's a big tolerance. Baby Garrett. Should look good on the bottom mount configuration. Like I said, we're shooting for 300 wheel, but realistically we're probably going to get like 270 or 280, and I'd be completely happy with that. I just want a healthy, reliable setup, and this turbo is going to do just that for us. Alright, we got our assortment of intercooler pipes to work with. Do the front mount setup. It's all 2.5 inch. Last thing, little cheap eBay intercooler. Once all these parts are gone, we have a turboed engine, and we'll be making twice as much power, if not more.
Yeah.